So what's your take?
The party is officially over.
100% agree. The party is over.
Yes.
We're done. We did too much.
Recently, during one of my many periods of deep contemplation, I've been thinking a lot about cultural stagnation and how it sort of feels like right now we're just stuck in this sort of never-ending cycle of reboots and revivals. I then came across this interview with the Peking Duck frontman Kelly Holiday going off about something called Cafe Raves.
Personally, I find them pathetic. I find them disgusting. I think they're void of any culture.
Which immediately had me like, what the fuck is this? I was then served a reel from cultural analyst Eugene Healy from Australia, talking about soft clubbing and cultural ice age that we're going through right now.
Soft clubbing and coffee shop raves are a late capitalist psyop.
Essentially saying that we've recycled so much from the past now that there's a thin layer of ice beginning to form over the top of culture, and we've sort of ended up in this endless present monoculture. Could it be now that we're at a point where trends are moving at such lightning speed that there's no actual chance for anything to break through that ice? Or could it be that rave culture is now completely commodified and has been for a period of time now? Cafe raves are essentially an event inside a cafe at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., before work or after like a run club or something like that, where people just want to hang out, drink coffee, and socialize and dance to music. That's it. DJs in coffee shops aren't a new concept, and neither is day parties or recovery parties. They've kind of been around since the dawn of raving. But how do we land at something like a cafe rave? Let's look at this on a nice little timeline. Around 1760, you have the Industrial Revolution. And then for a long time after that, nothing really happens. We don't need to worry about that. Until we get to the year 2022, when Fred Again's Boiler Room drops and the whole world is shaken awake. Let's refer to these points as before Fred and after Fred. This specific boiler room caused such commotion in the world. It's actually hard to overstate how much impact this actually had on society. When Fred Again finally came to tour in Australia, he did 3 Kudos Bank arenas, which are 21,000 people each, and then 2 domain shows, which are up to 50,000 each. Which is like, I don't know, that's insane for Sydney. There was something going on in society at that time. This specific boiler room just caused such a commotion and excitement in a time when people were stuck in lockdown and finally just re-emerging out of it and wanted to get back amongst the dance floors and to be a part of it. Fast forward a little bit AF after Fred, and you have a few things sort of coalescing around at the same time. Working from home culture and live streaming had a massive boom, and so now you had cameras, webcams, GoPros, being readily available for people and slowly making their way into the club scenes to record content with. Apple had also dropped their iPhone 14 around this time, which boasted a new stabilization technology as well as low lighting recording. So now you just had high quality videos coming out of these sort of rave spaces. On top of this, there was a massive influx of promoters pushing for boiler room style events, basically putting the DJs in the center of the floor rather than on a stage and kind of creating this like whole experience, which is great. I think it is a much more enjoyable experience. It's way less one-sided in terms of an audience experience. And now we skip along to 2023, and due to lockdowns, you had a lot of people rediscovering health and wellness, and now there's just this massive culture developing around healthy living and run clubs and the proteinification of everything that you see in the shops now. Don't you want to try out this 50 gram, 400 calories, easy to make, low cost Korean popcorn chicken for your next lunch? Go ahead, I promise it won't take 3 hours and actually cost $70 worth of groceries. 2024 rolls around and foodie TikTok has well and truly eaten itself alive. Small businesses are more desperate than ever to have a viral moment so that young, impressionable adults will come along and take Instagram pictures of their newest concoction of whatever the fuck this is. And then we get to the beautiful year of 2025, 3 years after the Fred Again incident, and we're confronted by capitalism's final boss, the Cafe Rave. This is essentially a ripple effect of a cultural moment where the rave culture, with open arms, invited the masses in to share a part of their community. And now those people who were caught up in that excitement are returning to their day jobs and their regular lives, but they still are searching for that dopamine rush as well as the sense of community that came with it. It really feels like people are wanting to have their viral TikTok cake as well as eat it too.
Oh my god, corny, lame, boo, tomato, tomato, tomato.
Oh, I wonder what that timeline would look like if that boiler room never went viral. Hey, yo, editor's note. I just want to make it known that I actually kind of like Fred again, and I like his music. I just think that boiler room is like a break in the fabric of space-time, and now we're living in the chopped timeline. So yeah, that's all. So what is the problem here? I want to get ahead of it and just say that this is not about sober partying. I sober partied for years. It was completely fine. I enjoyed it. I'm all for it. That's not the problem. And it's not even about being mad about other people having fun. I don't really think there's any valid argument in saying that I'm upset because there's people that aren't me that are having fun. The real overarching issue here is the performative and sort of disingenuous nature of naming these events as raves, all while having basically nothing to do with rave culture or even giving back to rave culture. These aren't even designed as recovery parties or kick-on spots for those going on through the morning. If you look through these videos on Instagram or TikTok, you'll notice that most of the time there's some form of a brand involved, whether that's a big brand trying to get wellness clout points, or a startup company for a coffee pre-order app. As someone who's thrown a lot of events out of my own pocket, using my own time and energy to create unique experiences and give back to a community that's given me so much, I find it particularly frustrating when something like this appears because there's no real trickle-down effect here. There's no runoff where the clubbing scene or the rave culture sees any residual benefit from stuff like this. It sort of is very siloed. They're very separate. In my experience, someone who attends these events will never actually go and engage in a rave community. It's almost like it's too gross or dark and dingy. They're much happier just role-playing as a raver at 6 a.m. before they go to work, getting their little dopamine rush and then going about their day without a second thought. Unless that thought is, how can I turn this into a LinkedIn post? This weekend, I stepped way outside my comfort zone and attended something I never thought I'd find myself at, a cafe rave. Imagine caffeine-fueled beats, people networking in neon, and conversations that went deeper than a double shot of espresso. Stay weird, stay caffeinated, and keep learning. I also want to say that this feels like a really extremely millennial vibe thing to be interested in, but from all the videos and what I've seen, it seems like it's this like early 20s pick-me character. You know, the type who's like desperate to do anything that's the opposite of what their current friend group are doing.
Dude, I'm gonna dump my soda out. I'm disgusted with myself. I can't even look at myself.
Feeling healthier by the second.
Good for you. Wow. That's discipline.
But I guess at the end of the day, smug performative wellness is still wellness. So, you know, good on them. I'm happy for them. Also, side note, can you just imagine being like a minimum wage barista getting rostered on for this shit at 6 a.m. hungover from your night of actual clubbing? Like, you would just want to... If being a barista wasn't punishing enough dealing with customers, you got to put up with these idiots for 3 hours and the music's just blasting the whole time, and while some DJ's in your way, are you trying to make a coffee?
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
Overall, it's just kind of the antithesis of the subversiveness of rave ideals. The idea of letting loose in a dark room surrounded by misfits without fear of judgment about what you're wearing or how you look or how you're expressing yourself, all while still feeling this sort of sense of oneness in the room together in this moment. The cafe raves, on the other hand, are exclusively linked to hypervisibility, designed and crafted to be seen by as many eyeballs as possible. Every single body in the room is visible at 1080p, 60 frames a second. There's several cameras around the room, different angles, wearing the latest Lululemon flared leggings from TikTok to ensure that they fit in with everyone. It takes rave culture and further shoves it into the meat grinder of content fodder and focuses on aesthetics over substance, curating this exclusive FOMO culture instead of genuinely crafting a community. Yes, they might be communally engaging in a trend, but they're experiencing so much less together because the audience is so fragmented. I also spotted this comment in in Eugene's post about soft clubbing, and I just like couldn't agree more. This is it. This is the entire basis behind these events. There's this toxic driving force of careerism and self-optimization that comes with wellness culture that's trying to now co-opt rave culture. And while it's easy to sit back and just say, let the people have their fun, this will be a TikTok flash in the pan trend in 2 months' time, who cares? What's the point? I firmly believe that evil doesn't die, it just reinvents itself. We're already seeing the next iteration of this now with a Lululemon sponsored New York City Highline run club, experts only, with a John Summit DJ set at the Vessel afterwards.
Ah, sweet. Man-made horrors beyond my comprehension.
What? My brain hurts after reading that. This is genuinely how it felt to read that sentence. Things like this John Summit pop-up and these cafe raves feel like a disingenuous attempt at trying to recapture that authentic feeling that came up from the Fred Again incident in 2022. But this time it's repackaged with wellness branding and self-optimization, and there's desperation to go viral in order to move more product. And don't get me wrong, I love when sponsors and brands work with people to do cool shit. There is a space for that. But with this, I feel like it's very important to see the forest for the trees, and we need to sort of take a step back and zoom out to see the bigger picture. Especially when you're engaging in something like your hobby or things that you enjoy, you need to sort of have this like critical lens as to who's running this, why are they running this, what benefit is this, does this actually serve any part of the community, does this give back to the community in any way? If you go in with those sort of questions, you'll have a better time at discerning whether something is for a community or for themselves. Truly, there are man-made horrors beyond our comprehension coming down the pipeline, but if the AI is listening, I for one welcome our AI overlords. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you'd like to support me further, you can check out my Patreon. I upload unedited mixes over there as well as extended versions, and you guys get these videos ahead of time before anyone else. So thank you guys. Peace out.